Welcome to Bond STX. This is week 3, plays of the week. January 18th to 21st. The 17th is a holiday, Dr. Martin Luther King Day, so the stock market is closed. So got a short week, but a lot of good opportunities will present itself to us. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Joined today by my special guest, Daz. So he'll be commenting and putting his best prices for these stocks this week as well. So I'm going to start with Discovery. Discovery moving very strong this week at a 6 trend. It's about $2.86 overvalue. It looks like it could be an opportunity if it falls below true value, it comes down to the 28.32 range. Definitely looking to get in to Discovery if it comes down to that range. So let's look at Discovery and see what the chart's showing us. Again, we want to use the screener scanner as a X marks the spot, and then we want to go to that X, which is the chart, and see what the charts are showing us, see if we can find some value here. So looking at Discovery in a 1 year, 1 day, you kind of see a lot of huge manipulation back in March, April timeframe. And then you can see a lot of just normal trading action. So I call these manipulation bars, I call these sticks, which are very unstable. But I call this normal, these normal bars bricks, which is normal price action. So this is normal trading action, non-manipulated trading. And so as we come into this week, you can see again on the 7th had some manipulation, a little bit more manipulation on the 10th, and then you see some more manipulation on the 14th. So the stock overall, last week we can see this is with our true value. This is our true value coming in this week. So it's slowly gaining value. Again, I think it's above true value. So I'm looking at this price range. I'm seeing it across the SMA, which is a very good sign. You see the MACD opening up, which is another great sign, and you see the alligator's mouth opening up. So everything's looking up for Discovery, but be wary that even these manipulated bars could come back and be filled back. So I'm looking at Discovery now. I would say my price point that I would be comfortable buying Discovery would be somewhere along the $27.92, $28 range. And so this is where I'm looking at this bounce to come back down and seeing support come back up. So we'll see if it will begin to use this SMA as a kind of a support. And so I'm looking at this stock this week, and I'm going to say $28 even is where I'm looking at being comfortable buying Discovery. So Daz, what are you thinking about Discovery this week?
I'm gonna say 29. I'm gonna say 29.05. I think that's a pretty good buy-in.
9.05 it is. Lock it in. So we'll go with that. $28 for me, $29.05. Again, this is a company that looks like it could be on the upswing for, some more gains. And so I don't see anything wrong. Even if I wanted to just really be extra, just risky, buying it at true value or anything in the $30 range would probably be a good opportunity. So I think Discovery's on a good turn, so good turnaround. So I'm comfortable with this one. All right, so moving on to the next one. Next company that showed up on the scan for this week. So you see, one thing I want to mention before I get into the other ones is you see a lot of companies trending strong, really strong this week, again, overvalued stocks. But a lot of those don't show on the chart to be continuing in that direction. Not saying they can't continue that direction, but I didn't pull these out just because I didn't like what I saw on the chart. So a lot of times when they hit those peaks of 6, they like to turn back down and start to fall back down. So I didn't see that with Discovery, but I do see those with some of those others. So I'm going to skip down to Spirit Airlines. So Spirit Airlines looks like a good opportunity this week, moving at a trend of a 4, which we hope to move into a 6 coming into this coming up week. It's about 32 cents overvalued to me. True value of being $22.98. So let's look at the charts and see what Spirit Airlines is showing us this week. So as we look at the chart on Spirit, looking at a 1 year, 1 day, you can see easily the SMA making this nice, beautiful, almost like a rainbow style maneuver here. And you can kind of see where this is going to potentially cross, I would say somewhere in the near future of late February on the trajectory it's on now. One thing to be aware of, and that's something that we'll probably need to talk about more as we get into the earnings reports. This is kind of a dangerous period. I don't particularly like holding stocks overnight during earning reports. I've been burnt in the past during holding stocks during this time. So just be aware that as stocks get closer to earnings report, there could be a lot of swings either way. Hopefully they swing in the up direction if you're buying at the right point in time, but be careful that they could fall off drastically. But one thing I would like to point out for this one coming into this week, you can see the MACD wanting to potentially open back up. Everything's still moving in a good direction here. So I like Spirit Airlines, even for the next couple weeks. I would definitely say I'd feel comfortable buying Spirit Airlines on the trajectory it's on. I would say around the 2281. Yeah, 2281 feels good to me. Just looking at this manipulation that hasn't been covered, I'll say 2281. That's where I'm going there. Daz, what do you think about Spirit Airlines this week? Daz, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm thinking 2281, 2283.
Which one you got? 2281, 2283.
I'll do 2283.
Gotta be different.
Look.
All right, we're locking it in. Moving on to the next one. The next one that pulled up on the scan this week that showed some promise was US Steel. It's like a swing day trade. So it's moving at a trend of a 4, which is really good. About 73 cents overpriced, a true value of 24.66. So let's look at US Steel and see what the chart's showing us there. Again, looking at a 1 year, 1 day, see a lot of, looks like almost a day trader's dream. You see a lot of consistency, moving in and out the cake, as I call it. So it has a great pattern if you look at it over the last year. And so looking at the opportunities that it presents this week, you can see, again, pretty strong movement up, a good little pattern here, above the alligator, above the EMA, above on the MACD. So this is a good potential for day trade. I would definitely say, just looking at how it's patterned as it's going up, out of the cake, coming back down into the cake. So I would expect it to make that same consistent pattern in and out of the cake. I would definitely be wary that it could come back down. Again, you got earnings report coming up for this company on the 28th of January. So wouldn't be surprised if it maybe hit some highs here and then turn back around. So depending on what comes out of the earnings report, it could pull the stock price back down. But definitely before it gets there, there's some potential opportunities to make some money. So I'm looking at true value being here, And I'm looking at possibly, I would feel comfortable buying this stock. I would go ahead and go at true value of 24.66. I'm looking at how it's moving. And so I would say 24.66 would be a great go time for me. So I'm gonna go right at true value on this one. That's what your thoughts on US Steel this week.
This week, I'm gonna say, looking at it a little bit better. I think 24.98 was a good entry for this week.
498 it is. Locking it in. All right. Moving on to the next one. Next scan we have is Alibaba. So Alibaba is showing a decent trend up. Again, a 4, which is pretty good. It's about $3.44 overvalued. True value being a 128.13. So definitely wanted to go to the charts and look at this one. Had a little back and forth with this one before the video between me and Daz. Don't necessarily agree with this one. But looking at some of the potential here, and I'll just speak on what I'm seeing here. And I've got a low of 108.7, and starting to see. I see the cross where the teal EMA crosses the alligator EMAs, cross the red and the blue, and so it's starting to gain a little bit of momentum. You can see the MACD also opening up. So I'm thinking, for me, I'm seeing some potential of it crossing this SMA in the future, possibly March, February timeframe. And so just me looking at it from that perspective, I'm seeing some opportunities that others may not agree with or see, but I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I like what I'm seeing in the trend. Now I'm going to look at the true value mark of 128.13. And I would say anywhere possibly around 128, I would say I'll be comfortable buying Alibaba. So I'm going to go on the limb on that one, say 128. Again, that's below true value where I like to buy stocks, and see where that pulls out this week. What's your call out for this one? I know you're not buying it. I know you don't like it. But if you were to buy it, what's your call out for this one, Daz?
For this week, this is tough. I'm just gonna go with probably like 127.9. I know that's like way off, but
127.09 or 90?
27.99. Excuse me. All right. I just gotta see a little.
Locking it in. Can't change our minds now. It's too late. Bought, sold. All right. Next one that pulls up on the list is a little known company, TSRI. They actually do cloud-based consulting. And so moving at a trend of a 4, and it's about 41 cents above value. So looking at a true value of $11.39. So let's go to the charts. The one thing about TSRI that you'll see, another day trader's dream. And so you see a very consistent pattern. You see a spike of manipulation in February. See another spike manipulation in March, spike of manipulation in September, and you see another spike that just happened here last week. And so very consistent pattern. And you also see the SMA. Again, I like to look at the SMA as a kind of a trend line. Kind of see the SMA, actually it's riding on top of it. You see a fall below it, which is not a great sign, but then you see a strong pullback, which was last week. So I like this stock on opportunities of a day trade for sure. Just looking at the patterns here that I'm seeing, zooming in, I'm seeing some opportunities here. I'm looking at a possible trend here that I'm liking. And so I feel like it could come back down. I'm looking at a 1039 range, potentially, even at that. I think it could spike back up by Friday into the at least $11.80 range. So I'm going to watch this. So I'm not going to necessarily say I'm going to jump in. I definitely want to watch this one. I want to see a pattern of where it's going to fall before I jump in. I definitely like this one. So I'm going to go say 1046, 1050 range. I'm going to be looking to buy in and watch how it moves in that space. If it does move like it's going to continue in an upward direction, then I would look to buy in. So I would say 10. I'm going to say 1046 for this one. Guys, what's your thoughts on TSRI this week?
Yeah, not too familiar with this one, but it does look really good. Like you said, I would probably let's see, this is tough. I'm gonna go with 1020 actually.
Okay.
1020.
1020 it is. Again, it's a little known company. It popped up on my radar last week, so I thought it would be a good scan, and I scanned it, looked pretty good. So I thought it would make sense to take a chance on this one, look at where it stands on the charts. So it looks pretty good so far. Next one that popped up on the list is Anaplan. Anaplan is moving at a trend of a 2, which is a small upward trend. It's $1.25 overvalued, true value being a 45.46. So $45.46 is its true value. So looking at Anaplan, definitely down, been down got manipulated, looks like back at its earnings call, its last earnings call, November 22nd. It got devalued quite a bit. And so looks like it's on a trend back up. Looks like investors are starting to come back in. You can see a lot of pullback. And so makes me a little bit more interested when I see consistent pullback like it is. Again, it's at a trend of a 2 up, which is a small, slight trend. And but I like to see how it's going to move. And so you kind of see a little bit of a fake out on the MACD. Looks like it's going to start to come back down and swing down, and then swing back up. So looks like the momentum is starting to slow down in the down direction and possibly swing up. Just looking at this stock, I would feel comfortable buying this stock. Just looking at what I'm seeing here, 44.79 looks good to me. And I would think if you get 44.79, definitely up to 46.98 in this week. So 44.79 is where I'm going. That's what's your thoughts on Anaplan this week?
This is a tricky one too. I would probably I'm gonna lock in 44.20. Actually, I'm gonna lock in 44.30.
44.30. All right, lock it in. I'm going to go to the next stock. Pull it up on the scan this week. Nikola is back. It is back. anyone who's watching the previous videos know that this is not a fan favorite of Daz. He's not a fan favorite of this stock. But I've called it out 2 weeks in a row. Definitely has done what I expected it to do. Not overwhelming, but it's made me some money, and I'm quite satisfied with Nikola so far. So it's definitely slowing down. It's flat trend coming into this week. It's 47 cents below value, so it's on sale at a $10.08 purchase price. True value is $10.55, so it's below true value, which is good. Going to the charts, I would say this is something I still think is an opportunity. I wouldn't put long-term money in it, but I do think it's opportunity still. Might be able to squeeze a little more juice out of that lemon this week. So let's look at here. Zoom in here. And so last few weeks, you can see where the true value was here. It went up to here. Now it's down to here. You can kind of see it, like I said, getting flat here. And but you do see a consistent support around this 990 range, which is good. And so I would say if it comes back down to 990, you can see a little bit of a drop off in the highs here. You may not be able to sell out at 1139. If you come in, be smart, wait till it comes down to 990, you can get out at 1020, 1023. So I do think there's opportunity still in this stock. It might be a little more juice you can squeeze out of this lemon. So I'm gonna go ahead and say at 990, I'm going to be ready to jump in at Nikola for a third week in a row. That's what you think about Nikola this week. I know you're not buying it. I know. But if you are,
I changed my mind a little bit.
Might change your mind. Uh-oh.
I think I would consider 985.
985.
I mean, yeah, chart wise, it looks really good. So,
and for those who don't know, I hadn't mentioned what Nikola. So Nikola is a electric semi-truck company. So they're making semi-trucks, electric semi-trucks for hauling, across the country. And they've also started to introduce hydrogen in there as an alternative into their electric trucks. So, depending on how you look at that, some people may say, hey, this is an investment. I'd be willing to drop, $100 into this company at 985, 990 and just hold it. So, I think potentially if they get government backing and they get the support of other truck companies to buy those trucks, I believe, the sky's really the limit. I mean, I don't know how many other competitors are out there besides Tesla, but who knows? Again, that one's been beat up for a while, so it may deserve a little love in the future. Next on the list is Dollar General. So Dollar General's coming in flat. Dollar General is another one that it's a tricky one if you look at the charts, and we'll look at that here in a second. It is in the cake range, but it's not actually moving up into the cake, as we'll see. And so it's $7.63 on sale, but I don't know if that's going to hold that 217.08, and we'll look at the charts and see. But 224.71 is what I have as true value. So any dip into that stock, I believe it could potentially come back to 224.71, if not this week, in the next few weeks. So I'm gonna go ahead on the limb on Dollar General and kind of show you what I'm looking at. And so you can see Dollar General's been on a steady kind of growth. And you can look at the SMA again as a trend line. And it's one of the things I like to look at is how it moves past that SMA. And so it moves out of the SMA, back above, out and back above. And that's what's creating that SMA moving up. It's moving up more than it's moving down. So that creates that pull up in the SMA. And so that line continues to move forward. And so as we look And to zoom in, you see a strong turn of events. And so when you look at the MACD, we're looking at momentum. It's just showing the speed of the trades coming in and out of the stock. And so as we see this cross happens, this is a kind of a death cross. Therefore, it kind of gives you some insight that the potential of the speeds of the trades coming out of the stock, pulling out of the stock, pulling the price down is almost imminent. And so we look here and we see the EMA cross the green, red and blue, so very similar down movement. And this is another death cross. This teal has crossed 3 of the projected EMA lines. And so this is not a great sign. One of the things I want to pull out of here and point out is you see a very similar thing happen here where it gives a little bit of a cross fake out, comes back up. Don't know if it's going to do exactly that, but you can see a potential here of this price coming down and being supported down here. So I'm looking at this one to come down and around the I'm going to say the 212.53 range. And if it comes down to that range in a day, you could swing trade it, and I think it could come back to the 217. So even if you buy it at 212, it may not come back to the range of 224, but I definitely feel like you buy at 212, it come back to the 218, 217 range. So I'm looking to buy Dollar General at 212.53. Even if it falls below that sum, I feel very confident that this stock will come back up and make me some money. So 212.53 is where I am buying Dollar General this week. What are you thinking about Dollar General this week, Daz?
Like you said, this is a really tough one. But I'm gonna lock in 211. 211. $211.31.
211.31 it is. All right. So this is a tough one, but I think this is where you separate the men from the boys when you come into the market. You have to really make tough calls and see things that others don't see. So I think I see value in Dollar General at that price, and so I'm willing to take a chance and go in there. And then last but not least is Delta Airlines. And so Delta Airlines is moving flat, 2 cents undervalued. So 2 cents overvalued, true value of $40.29. And so looking at Delta Airlines, we're going to see what potential that brings for us. So another stock that is moving very well, what I like to call in and out of the cake. And so this is a great opportunity, and you also can see the SMA and the EMA is getting close together. So this is another sign of a breakout, and we want to see the price above the SMA. That is a great sign. And so when you see that cross, you see where it tried to cross here in October. You can see where it tried to cross here and got rejected in November. And so let's see if it crosses here finally and makes an upward swing into the upper range of the cake. So I think there's some opportunity here. Kind of see the MACD lines getting real close together. Looks like they want to cross, but they may continue to push up. And so looking at this one, I think there's some opportunity by Friday for the price to at least reach 41.57. And so I would say, looking at this price range here, I would buy it at true value of 40.29 and look for a bounce. If it does come down to 41.15, look for a bounce up to 40.69 or 41.50. So a quick day trade, quick swing trade. I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis on this one. I'm definitely watching to see if this crosses down and see if this crosses this green EMA. So that's definitely a telltale sign that it may turn back down. And if it does turn down, look for 38.23 range at the worst case. The best case, I'm looking at 38.92. So, but I'm gonna go out on this one. If I'm planning to do a day trade, I'm gonna say 40.29 is a comfortable place to buy, and looking for a return at 40.72, which is looking at a 1.3% gain or 3% gain. So nothing real big, but not very sexy on the charts, but definitely some opportunity to make some money. So I'm gonna say 40.29. Daz, what's your thoughts on Delta this week?
Yeah, this one's a little tricky. I think I would be comfortable. You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one straight on. 40.29. I think that's a pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. 40.29.
And the thing about this, I like too, if it does come strong above this SMA, it could explode next week. It really could. It's an opportunity that could really take off. So it could bounce here, explode. It could fall through and then still come back and come above 40.29. So I think you're safe either way with this one at that price range. So, all right. So that's I believe that is all the ones that I pulled out this week. Again, I scanned about 70 to 80 stocks this week. So a lot of good opportunities coming this week. Again, it's a short week. And so I think there's a good chance to come out with a good week of around 5% for the week at least. Hopefully we can get a good 8% or more. That's all we have for week 3 on Bond SCX. Look forward to some more episodes, and thank you for joining us. See you soon. Thank you.